Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me for Faithful Friday. What a time to be alive here in if you're in the Midwest, it's chilly. We're under a winter storm warning. But guess what? I'm going to learn to still see the good. And I think the word last week was just learning to be content in all seasons. We have to learn to be content in all seasons. It's not going to always be cold, but it's not always going to be hot. So learn to take the good with the bad and not complain about it. Get some things done in those silent seasons. I did want to start Faithful Friday off with some announcements this week. Just some reminders. Saturday, February the 1st from 6:30 to 9. We will be officially, myself and my cousin Tracy will officially be hosting our book signing where you can come out and meet the authors. We both were blessed to be able to write a book and share our vision on last year. My book, Seasons 43. Seasons 43 Lessons That I Had to Learn will be available for purchase if you have not had a chance to get that off of Amazon. And her book as well, Crossing Over, will be available. I'm excited about it. I can't wait for you guys to be able to chance to take a peek. So if you're not busy, stop on by. I have placed it on all of my channels that I communicate and spread the word of encouragement through. And some I have even sent a personal message. So if you're not busy, February the 1st, all information is on the flyer from 6:30 to 9 will be our book signing. Also, just wanted to send some reminders of where you can find the guys at this weekend. This Saturday and Sunday, you can find us at the Indie Garage Sale, Saturday 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Also on Saturday, you can find the guys at the AMP 16 for the Indie Winners Farmers Market from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So if you need some sauce, stop on by. We've been doing the Indie Garage Sale probably for the last 3 years. It has proven to be a successful channel for us to be able to market our sauces, being able to capture people that come from all parts of Indiana and be able to send our sauce into new territory. So excited about that. But now that we've gotten the announcements out of the way, I'm excited about the week that I just experienced. Talk about God being faithful. I started off Monday just making sure that I was commanding my morning. Why? Because when we command our morning, it has the ability to give us a positive direction for our day. I was reminded on Monday that you have everything that you need. Your spiritual genes hold the creative power to frame your personal world. It really does, by the thoughts and the words that you think and speak. Listen, that's why it's so important to command your morning. Don't wake up. Don't start talking negative. Don't wake up and start taking in a bunch of negative things because it will wear you out before noon. Things that I had to do at the top of the week is one, limiting my social media. I had to place just some time holders on that. I think for me, I did 2 hours a day. I got to go in and if I got to check email and I got to check my socials and make sure there's something I didn't miss in regards to maybe someone trying to get a hold of me. I did that and I logged off. I even placed D&D on my phone after certain portions of the day. Times when I should be laying down and getting my rest, I don't want to continue to surf because a lot of times that can wear us out as well. It's very important, y'all, that we ask God to reveal those roadblocks that try to hinder our progress and purpose. And if there's something that you're supposed to be doing and you're spending too much time doing something else, you are dealing with the roadblock that could be hindering your progress and moving towards your purpose, accomplishing those things that you told yourself that you would do. It's January, jumpstart January at that. We want to start the year off on a good note. So allow God's word to renew your mind. It's important that we also examine what we're afraid of. What are those things that you're afraid of? Even if God does not remove the trials from your life, those things that you are facing, you have to rest assured knowing that He uses everything, all seasons, and I do mean all seasons, for your good and for His glory, so that you will overcome in the end. If you want to walk in love, listen, you have to focus on what you can do in order to be a blessing to others. I know sometimes we're always so worried about what people are going to do for us. Sometimes you got to ask yourself, what can you do for others? You can't always be on the receiving end. Sometimes you got to learn to give. Also, you got to learn to forgive quickly. You got to examine your heart daily and ask yourself if you have anything against anyone. And if you do, you got to learn to forgive. Why? You got to remember how often God forgives you for the things that you do, knowingly and unknowingly. Because sometimes we can do stuff and just not even realize we in the wrong until somebody check us. I also dealt with on Monday about anxiousness. For those that have been anxious about what can happen in the future, what the future holds, how the future is going to turn out, put your faith in God to help you navigate through every challenge, because He will help you. Come Tuesday, God was just tapping in with reminders about the power of your words. And I think I talked about that on the word of the day. The power of your words, all that you will ever accomplish, it hinges on what you choose to allow to come out of your mouth. Those things that you govern and they come out of your mouth, your words can either bless your life, or that, bless your life to heights of success, or it can send it to orbiting into the realms of failure, just how you're speaking. Next, I was reminded about a timely word, an appropriate word at the right time. It's beneficial to not only the giver, but the receiver. So make sure you always got a good word. That's called shining your light. Sometimes people just need a good word. Obtaining that sort of wisdom requires us just listening to God. Sometimes God will tell you what to speak to somebody that may be going through something, that needs some encouragement, that needs to hear a good word. We have to make sure that we're listening to the right voice. If you need wisdom, ask God, and I promise y'all, He will give it to you. Listening to the right voice will also steer you in the direction of recognizing love. We'd finally be able to believe the best about one another and not be thinking that everybody's out to get us. We would not be tormented by suspicion all the time and evil thoughts about other people. I think about some of the, socials that you can see and videos that people are cutting everybody off at the top of the year. Listen, we live in a world of community. We have to work together. You can't cut everybody off. I think the pastor said it on Sunday. You can't live on an island alone. You need others. And so you got to learn to get out of your head and thinking that the world is against you. I was reminded, in Tuesday morning study, just even about procrastination. A lot of us struggle with it. At times, I can struggle with procrastination. It is your enemy. That's just the best way I can say it. It's an enemy that fills you with dread. It causes you to be anxious. And you must set your mind to do what needs to be done each and every day. I don't want to get online sometimes, but I know that God has called me to be a motivator and encourager, so I do the things that even I don't want to do. Wednesday was all about learning just to get over the humps and the bumps that we can sometimes experience at the top of our week. Hump day, that's what a lot of people like to refer to it as. Most of us experience, most of the experiences that we're dealing with are in our mind. Our mind is just telling us that's just too much. You can't do all that. What occupies your mind, no doubt, will fill your mouth. You start speaking those things out. That's why our thoughts are so powerful, and we have to take our thoughts captive. We are a sum total of the choices we have made or allowed to happen. And if some things happen in your life that were not so good, you do have the power to turn that thing around. It's important that you remain confident, and true confidence begins with, in ourselves, begins with our confidence in God. Faith is so real that believing and asking for something and believing that it's already been done, that gives you a confidence that just, can't be explained. God cares about everything that we care about. So don't think that when you pray a prayer or you ask God to do something, just because He hasn't done it in your timing, that He won't do it. As long as your confidence is in God, you will enjoy success in due season. Don't allow these difficult circumstances to override your trust in God. Listen, by Thursday, I felt like I had experienced all of January in less than 2 weeks. I had to continue to master my thoughts because, when we're seeking to get something done in a short amount of time, often that spirit of being overwhelmed wants to step in. It can leave you either severely frustrated, or you just want to quit. You don't want to do it at all. Yeah, I got like that this week. You just don't want to do it all. But I have to remind myself, you're the one that stated we're in Jumpstart January. So we're not going backwards. And no matter what's going on, you got to keep your faith. You got to keep your faith, because something will always be going on. Just look at the news. Something's going to always be going on. God wired your thoughts to have power so you would be equipped to overcome every obstacle. God has equipped us to create and innovate, be innovative, to strategize and succeed. So I know it can get tough sometimes, just all of the things we see and hear about, but we got to keep going, y'all. I'm ending this week just focused on confidence. We have to remain content in where we are. We have to learn to enjoy where we are, but never stop wanting to grow and allow God to get the glory out of our story and the things that he's doing through us, through the purpose and plans that he's placed inside of us. God wants us to be secure in our uniqueness in order to be confident. Insecurity is rampant in our society right now. It really is. People who search for security in all the wrong places, I promise you, they end up disappointed. So you have to make sure that your security is coming from God. Listen, it was a good week, undeniably. If you're human, you live in this world, you've seen some heartbreaking moments, but through it all, God was still faithful, and God will see us through. He will see us through. Listen, it's the disconnect for most. Do something that your future self will thank you for, even if it's just getting some rest, even if it's just working to get ahead of some of those things that you would like to get a jump start on, because it's jump start January. But this, I leave you with this message. Make sure that if you're out and about, you let your light shine. Why? Because your transparency, sometimes you even sharing your story, sometimes you having a good word leads to others being transformed. You know the drill. This has been your girl 7. I will see you soon.